2015 budget adjustment. Got a motion? Do I have a second? Second. Got a second? Moved by Vinson. Yes. Pat? Yes. Walter? Yes. Lloyd? Yes. Okay, D.
Commissioners, this is our contract with Roadrunner Public Health Incorporated, which does our vector control and sprays mosquitoes. This contract will run from June through the end of September, or mid-October. It's $9,000 a month, but we share those costs with the city and with the village, and I recommend approval.
Okay. What's the wish of the commission? Motion to approve. Motion. And a second? Second. And a second. Lloyd? Yes. Pat? Yes. Walter? Yes. Antonio? Yes. Okay. Manager's report. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
5 years I've had certain liberties that I couldn't take. Mostly what I really think to say about you five, so I'm going to let you have it now. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve in your community for the last 5 years. When I came, I was not well, but I was motivated because of an aggravating person who I get to meet, who drove me nuts on the phone. But it turned out to be the chairman, Edward Michael. And he knew my situation, that I could have retired. I had the resources to buy time back when I was a good old state probation parole officer right out of college. And I had the resources to buy that time back and have a full 25-year retirement. And the things he wanted to do, his vision, that I learned was shared by the entire world, was enough to motivate me to take whatever challenges I had to come try to do a good job. I did my best not to make any friends and not to get too close to anybody because I knew this was my last stop in my career. And unfortunately, I have to say, I did both. I made friends, and in spite of myself, I'm going to miss all 5 of you and myself. And I think I'm leaving you with the staff that can provide you with the type of service that you deserve. We've made a lot of changes. We have a lot of new faces. I think all of you agree that all the changes we made needed to be made. And the end result is, particularly in the county manager's office, where these employees don't get the glory, the limelight, the credit they deserve. We have an incredible group, and they can provide you in the next commission with top service and the best service in the state. And I can tell you without reservation, I've had 3 counties, and the group that I lead, these are people that I have hired for the place. The group that I lead, you are as good, if not better, than any group of employees I've ever had the privilege to supervise. The department heads that we have in place that I'm leading you with, from jail administrators to acting jail administrators to emergency preparedness and road. There have been change after change. And finally, about 3 years ago, I got to the group that I thought these are the people that can make things happen and get things done and not get a lollygag around and wait to be told. And you've treated them right, and I hope the 3 of you left can continue to treat them right. Very quickly, individually, going down the road. From you, Commissioner Davis, you scared the living hell out of me the first time I met you. And several people know this story, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was led to believe this 5-0 boy vote to hire me. Well, it was. What I wasn't told is that there were some reservations from one or two of you, and when I got here, I've been here 2 days. Mr. Gallegos walked in my office and shut the door. Didn't ask to shut the door, just shut the door. And said with very blunt and direct words, "I didn't want you." And I thought, uh-oh. Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. And he said, "But I believe in fairness and I'm going to give you a chance." And Commissioner, you did. And I appreciate you giving me that chance. And I appreciate the friendship that's developed with you and Susan. I know you've taken hits in the last year, and I've never admired you more for your composure under fire. I've fired back because my blood's still red hot after 26 years. Even though I prayed for 26 years for God to temper that, it just didn't take. But you accepted criticism and unfounded attacks, and unfair attacks, with composure and with dignity. And I admire you for that more than anything else. And the other thing that I appreciate is that more than any other commissioner, and all four of you share this trait, you have demanded fair and equitable treatment of county employees. And you have always let me know when you felt that wasn't the case. And in every instance, except one, I have agreed entirely with what you came in. And the public needs to know that you have promoted fairness to employees, and that your heart is with the blue-collar employees of this county. And I respect you for that. Thank you for your friendship. Commissioner Jaramillo, everybody knows what you're interested in. It's no secret that your passion is youth. And you have promoted youth, and you have led the county into involvement of activities that it had never before been involved in. And it's that type of collaboration between the city and the schools. You get credit for promoting that collaboration and taking a little bit of criticism in the process, and you two held it with dignity and remarkable composure. But really what you said was, to hell with it. It's the right thing. And I'm talking about the balloons we bought for the football team here in Grants and then in Laguna. And those kids deserve first rate. And they go to these stadiums that have money, and they have these fancy things they run through. And they came here and they don't have that. Well, they have it now, thanks to you. Because of you, we have fixed and refurbished fields at future foundations that were done very poorly the first time. Cheap. What I call second rate. And all of you, and especially Commissioner Jaramillo, have promoted first rate for children. And I appreciate your passion, and I know that's going to continue through the next 2.5 years of your term. And what you have in your Chief Administrative Office right now is an employee who helped our county in Luna win a Best Practices Award from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government and Ash Institute for our combined juvenile programs that were developed in collaboration with the city and schools. And out of 3,000 applicants, 3,000 programs, we were chosen in the top 17. And we were invited to Harvard to make our presentation, and the presiding district judge, Judge Jeffries, who's instrumental in these programs that we developed to try and curb youth violence, juvenile delinquency, gang activity. He made a presentation, and I made a presentation. And it was quite intimidating to be in Kennedy, Harvard School of Government, and look at Robert Kennedy's niece, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, who was Robert Kennedy's daughter and former Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, and David Gergen, who is chief analyst for CNN, was the chairman of that board. And we placed in the top 17. We didn't win, but we got published, which in academia is the ultimate recognition is to get published. She deserves an entire part of the credit. And she knows what she's doing. And she's making those contacts with the city and the schools that I was unable to make. And she already has a couple of wins that you know about, never really been publicized much, but we now have a grant-funded resource officer, mid-high, and now in high school. Are they in high school yet, or are we still working?
No, we're about to.
We're about to do it. But we have the resource officer, who is a certified police officer in the middle school. And we will have, because of grant funding written by Reagan, and we will have a resource officer in high school. And with all the violence that goes on across the schools in this country, that's a tremendous step to protecting our children. They are certified peace officers in the schools. And that is just a glimpse of the vision that Reagan brings to the community for you. She's also looking at after-school programs in the elementary programs, every elementary in the county, so that we can reach the communities that Futures has limited resources to reach. Futures does a great job of after-school programs, but they can't reach everybody because they just don't have enough funding. We're working with the schools for that. And I just want you to know, Mr. Harden, there's your biggest advocate and your biggest ally in trying to reach you. And I'm skipping you. Mr. Simpson, when I got here, you told me one thing. That you're in charge of the road department, and I was to do exactly what you said. Now, am I exaggerating, Commissioner? Because of you, I recognize that the road department had been neglected since the day this county was formed in 1981, 82, 1981. The equipment they had needed a wrecker to haul it out to the location. Worst furnished road department I've ever laid my hands on. Poorly paid, not enough employees. And as I leave, because of you, we have spent over $2.5 million on road equipment. And we have provided additional employees in a time of fiscal restraints. And we have taken on responsibilities in addition to those that we're already obligated to do in cooperating with Rio San Jose to address the serious flooding in Plano, Colorado that has never been addressed. And because of you pushing me in that direction, and that's not right. Because of you telling me and threatening me to go in that direction. We have worked hand in hand with the Rio San Jose, done incredible work upstream, and this year we're beginning a project downstream whereby we have a partnership with Rio San Jose, who's going to pay for the costs of the employee, and we're going to provide the equipment. And secondly, we have a partnership with the City of Grants and Mayor Hicks with one request, informal request from Commissioner Simpson. He's going to allow us to utilize the trenching machine where we need it and where our cat simply can't get the job done. We have that new bulldozer that will do a great deal of it, but there's some areas you're going to have the trencher. And the city is going to provide the operator and the equipment, and that's going to happen very, very soon in the summer. And just this last week, I chastised Commissioner Simpson for agreeing to this project right in the middle of our paving season, and he still has the same attitude he did 5 years ago. Shut up, listen, this is what we're going to do first. True or false, Commissioner?
Well, I want to say that, Doc, we couldn't have done all this with the road department, all of us together here, without you helping us a lot. I give you an awful big part of all the credit, and the rest of the commissioners here. They were all instrumental.
I'm trying to give you guys credit, so shut up. I really appreciate what you've done with the road department. Those employees have good equipment. And what's most important to me is we bought paving equipment the first year. And because of that chip sealing equipment, a little over $1 million that first year. In the last 3 summers, we have paved 60 miles of county road, averaging 20 miles a year. This year, we're projecting 22 miles of road. If we don't get sucked down the Rio San Jose during paving season. So, in the first year that we bought that paving equipment, we did more miles of road paving than the county had done in its entire history up to that point. They had averaged less than a mile a year without borrowing equipment. So, Commissioner, thank you for taking the county in that direction. You're always going to have road complaints. You're always going to have people that need help. You're always going to be in a position where you don't have the resources to do everything that needs to be done. But because of you, they have the resources to do far more than they ever would have. And I'd like to say on record that the idiot that created the rumor that I was selling the disposed of road equipment as I bought the new, no, I'm not going to say that.
Anyway,
Will be proven incorrect when my purchasing agent who does inventory displays the ignorance of those that started the rumor. And I appreciate what you did. Commissioner Felipe, it's very simple. You brought me into a tribal council meeting, and I was extremely honored. And I was very honored when they said I was the first county official to ever sit through a council meeting. And I've learned from you about the needs of the Native American community in our county. We have developed a very good relationship with both the Acamas and Lagunas. Reagan has been instrumental, and Commissioner, the chairman, has been instrumental in working with Lagunas on a variety of issues, including taking over that 70th fire station and saving lives already by having that service available 24 hours a day. Commissioner Chairman Michael deserves the credit for saving the life of a child that would have died if that 70th station was not manned 24 hours a day by the Lagoon Fire Rescue Department. And I appreciate you opening that door for my thinking. And I remember the question in the interview that I knew was going to come because I've never worked in the county that had Native American peoples. I've certainly worked in bicultural counties in Luna, where it's about 78% Hispanic surname. I never worked in an area where they had Native Americans. In the interview, you said, what the heck do you know about Native American peoples? You've never worked with them. And I knew that was coming. I thought of what I would get from each one of you, and I knew that was coming. And I remember my answer. I intend to learn from you, because I don't know a damn thing. And from you, I have learned a great deal about the Native traditions and customs, but most importantly, the needs. And because of you, you're collaborating with the applicants in ways that are off the grid, that we don't issue press reports on, but that provide an improvement of the quality of life of people living in those areas of their jurisdiction, such as helping with school bus roads that they simply don't have the resources for. And you got us into drainage issues and school bus issues, and I'm very glad to be a part of that. And I know that's going to continue, because Reagan is following in those footsteps and doing far more. She's making bigger footsteps than I'm making in very early trying to establish ways to work with the tribes. And thank you for sensitizing me to those needs and to those customs, and for your friendship.
Well, thank you, Scott. All I can say is, I may have opened the door, but it takes a big man to walk through it. And I appreciate you taking those steps in, make it happen. So thank you for your efforts. I commend you for your efforts to do.
I'm not fishing for compliments, so just wait, please. This is about you.
I was trying to cut you
I
off.
compliment myself. I don't need any help promoting my ego. But I really appreciate what you've done with me and for me, and most importantly, the friendship that's developed between us. And finally, Chairman Michael, I wrote things about you that couldn't be published. So I changed it, and it was all in terms of endearment, but I wrote the real things as they happen. And I don't think the newspaper could publish it for, minors to read. So I cleaned this up and threw out the text. And I just wanted to look at you and tell you from the heart. If for the 5 years I've been here, you've been chairman. And in 3 counties and 26 years of being a county manager, you're the best leader I've ever worked for. The absolute best. And thank you for your friendship. What the board has accomplished is because of you. You have listened to each and every one and pushed me to get it done. And everybody in this courthouse calls me boss, but only one calls me the red-headed prick. And I appreciate the relationship we've had where you could yell and scream and shout at me, and I could yell and scream and shout at you. And it was over, and we moved on. And out of those arguments came some of our best decisions. And in the 5 years I've been here, you've been